Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to day number 2. Back in the saddle here, flying the Fenix A321. Y'all wanted to see some 321 ops. I put the vote up between the fly-by-wire and the 321, and this is what y'all voted for. So here we go, A321 operation today. Gonna load us up as heavy as we can. We're looking to be about 181,000 pounds out of here in out of Phoenix Sky Harbor this afternoon. Real time, real weather. So it's 9 a.m. It's already 25 C outside and climbing. So not super hot, but considering it's an old 321 and we're gonna be fully loaded as much as we can, anyways, for our landing weight when we get down to Cabo. It should be a fun little departure. We'll have to talk about the perf data and how that conflicts with outside air temperature and flex as well. So we're back in it. We are in the lovely U.S. Airways livery, sitting out there on the ramp. We're at Bravo 8. We're in the beautiful Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. I love this airport. A lot of memories being at this airport as a kid. This is the little walkways here to get you in between terminal buildings. A matter of fact, can you even go down? I don't think all the terminals are modeled. Yeah, so they're not all modeled. But this is the... I can't remember what this one's called. This is what it used to be, the BM World scenery, but now they've changed it or rebranded it for 2024. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the only one that's supported officially through the store, I think, on 2024. But you do your homework last night, bank angle check. I believe I did, Callie Simmer. I believe I did. I'm scared to confirm, but I think I did get it fixed. Did I miss something already? Hopefully I did. But Glide Slope Pro. Thank you, Mitchell Taylor. That's correct. Mitchell Taylor, that's right. Glide Slope Pro, Phoenix Sky Harbor. I actually like this airport a lot. It's pretty decent on frames for me, and I like the textures. It looks good, so it's way better than the default Phoenix. And you know I do love flying the Phoenix out of Phoenix. So we're going to be taking this bird, like I said, down to Cabo San Lucas. Should be a nice little flight. Bill's Mafia's in the house. Good to see you, my man. Eastern T3 is here. Mitchell Taylor, good to see you. Sean Fitz in the house. JT Aisavado is here. Gary Glasgow, Captain McGee, Callie Simmer, good afternoon. Good morning to you out there. What is it, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. out there on the West Coast? AFO, good to see you. Terry's in the house. Zach Lewine checking in from both streams. Good to see you, my man. Alexander is here. Pete Ski Water is also here. Water, I thought you were working, man. You never work anymore, huh? Good to see you, Water. All right, let me go ahead and move this audio. There we go. That looks good. I do have, like I said, from yesterday's stream, we are rocking the dual broadcast today. So you have if you're on mobile, there is a mobile broadcast available in the pinned comment. Also, if you have, if you're on the mobile and you want to come to the full screen, it's also pinned at the top. So check the pinned comments so you can toggle between streams if you want. We're basically setting up the vertical cockpit cam over there for shorts videos. We cut 2 shorts videos from yesterday's stream. We had an unintended go around because we followed the Azobo glide slope down into the ground. So we had to go around off that, came back around, landed in some gusty winds and rain there in Raleigh. So that was a fun little flight. But now, I think as far as weather is concerned, I think it's going to be smooth sailing for us on this flight. So let's get to it. Wrong side, what's up, man? Good to see you. You had audio issues. You said you left stream and came back, and now audio is good. All right, man. Well, hopefully it's just on your part there. Bank angle check. What's up? Okay, Mountain. Good to see you over there on the other stream as well. You're having audio issues. No, I'm not having audio issues. You guys having audio issues? Let's get rolling. I got to say, the 321, this livery is straight juice. Zach, I totally agree, my man. I totally agree. It's one of my favorite liveries as well. So let's go ahead and boot it up, and we're going to do a real-time load. So I'm just going to get power to the airplane here, and then we're going to go real-time load. I think it'll take 21 minutes. Oh, brother.
Check, check, check. Is this thing working?
Hey.
By the way, would love your opinion on the recent awful accident in San Diego that took 6 lives.
Ooh.
Maybe we can chat about that during cruise?
Callie Simmer, absolutely. Thank you so much for the bank angle check. What's weird is I can't see. If I miss the audio, I guess I can't read it. I'm going to have to fix that. But thank you so much, Callie Simmer, for the bank angle check. Yes, we will talk about the that tragic crash there in San Diego. That was unfortunate. I've flown into. I'm assuming you're referring to the Montgomery, the citation that went into there. Yeah, very unfortunate. I have flown into that airport many times. I've actually flown in there during or at minimums landing on the ILS, but I guess the ILS was out of service, so they're on that RNAV. Just a tragic event all the way around. We could definitely take a look into that as well as we cruise on down over the Sea of Cortez. So thank you, Callie Simmer. I do apologize. I don't know how much you donoed, and if I missed any other part of that message, I don't see it. I will have to do some more homework to see if I can get a readout of the bank angle checks for me to read. So that was interesting because I hear it go off and I can hear you reading it, but like on my other software, I actually would have a textual of all of the stuff that would come through so I could read it if I missed it. I will have to do some more tweaking on that. But thank you again, Callie Simmer. Really appreciate the support. I am rocking the little coffee this morning, courtesy of Callie Simmer. However, I went to go get the Mazapan latte. So the local coffee shop right next to me, they're rocking the Mexican coffee menu right now. They got all these special coffees and all Mexico themed. And they didn't open till 11, and the stream went live at 11. I knew Callie Simmer would get upset with me if I didn't go live on time, so we skipped the Mazapan latte. Maybe we'll get that on the second stream today if we do one. So here we go, cruise supply. Let's go ground control CVR test. We'll go ahead and get everything booted up here. And I already lied to you. I said we'd start boarding right away. So let's do that. This is a good lesson in your flows getting broken up and making sure you just don't skip anything. So we're going to load aircraft. Let's go ahead, real time, 321 load. So now we got interrupted. This happens a lot. You're doing your stuff. You're doing your flows and your checks. The ramper comes up. Flight attendant comes up, interrupts you. Start over again so we don't miss anything, right? So just go up. We'll just kind of go up our left-hand panel. We did that. CVR test. That's in Captain. ADIRs are aligned. Strobe auto. Nav position 1. No smoking auto. Arm the emergency exit lights. 2 fault lights. That looks good. Everything looks good over the top. Let's do a fire test. You know what I haven't tested in a really long time is the battery test. Let's do a battery test. Let's pull up the electrical page. All right. 28, 20, 27. We're going to turn battery 1, battery 2 off. We're going to turn them right back on. 60 amps. Less than 60 amps and decreasing within 10 seconds. That's pretty high on the amperage. That would be a failed battery test if you ask me. So we have to charge the batteries. The way we charge the batteries is basically connect the aircraft to ground power, which is what we are doing right now. So we've got the ground power on. Batteries are in the on position. And if we remember, we can check this again prior to pushback. So we want to be less than 10 amps, I think. After the time is up, something like that. So you still see we have 50 amps there, 19 amps there. That means the batteries did get a little bit low, but they were above our voltage. Remember, 25.6 is what we need. We're at 28.6. I think we're a little bit above that before we powered it up, but we would have to double check that again prior to departure. So fuel tank pumps can stay off. We already did the fire test. That looked good. Up the right-hand side, that all looks good as well. A new technique, well, I don't say new, a technique to keeping the cabin cool on the ground is to turn cabin fans off, which is interesting because you would think having cabin fans, you would want them on. Now, the reason being is the cabin fans, if you have ground air running, the cabin fans actually fight against the jet bridge air, thus sometimes creating a less desirable outcome of temperature of air. So say the ground air card is pushing 65 degree air into the cabin and you have the cabin fans on. If you turn the cabin fans off, it might actually get a little bit cooler. It might be about 60, 58 degrees cabin air. But now the problem with that is, of course, the flow is reduced a little bit. So I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss. Right now we don't have, do we have external air we can connect ground services? Let's do PCA air. And let's see if it brings our cabin down, because right now you can see it's super hot. Here comes the ground air. You can see our temps are decreasing. We'll see how good the ground air unit is. 99 degrees in the cockpit. How are the pilots still alive? We would be starting the APU IRL probably. So we also have a limitation, 85 degrees for boarding. We're below that now, so we could board. It doesn't matter what the cockpit temp is. It just matters what the cabin temp is. So you can see here, ground jet bridge air. This is actually a pretty good animation. Only producing about 72, 70 degrees of cool air. Not going to be enough in the hot summer to really keep the cabin cool, but we're going to do our best. We'll see what it stabilizes at. Out of curiosity, let's turn cabin fans off. I'm curious now. I've never really messed with it. Turn the fans off. Wow, look at this. You could see the air actually drop 2 degrees. Look at this. Are you kidding me? So that's the exact behavior you would see in the real airplane. If you turn the cabin fans off, you're no longer mixing that hot cabin air with the ground air. So you actually get cooler ground air, but the trade-off is less flow through the cabin and the temps could come up a little bit. That's insane. And let's just make sure that's not a fluke. Cabin fans back on. It should mix, and these should go back up. Oh my gosh, they actually are. Can you believe that? I didn't even know that was... that actually blows my mind a little bit. I've never even thought to check this on the sim. And the fact that this even is... like, it's not even part of the airplane. We're simulating ground air to the airplane, and even that is simulated from the jet bridge. So let's go ahead and turn it back off. Let's see how cool we can get it with low flow but cooler ground air. We'll see where it stabilizes at. But absolutely insane. That's Fenix magic. You're absolutely right.
Bank angle.
Bank angle check. Oh no, I can't see it.
Hey Captain, how have you been? I just earned my 1-year badge. What a fun ride it's been, filled with amazing content. Huge congratulations on your newborn. Wishing you and your family all the happiness in the world.
Thank you so much for that bank angle check. Gosh, I wish I could see who did it. I can't. That's going to be a problem. I can't see who dropped the bank angle check. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can pull out a chat log. You know what? I might actually be able to if I open a different window. Standby, my friend. Aha! Now I can see a chat log. Okay, I just have to check a different tab. Who was that? Captain Medi. Thank you so much for the $10 bank angle check. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. A 1-year badge. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, and thank you again on the congrats. I mean, newborn is doing good. It's newborn actually slept a little bit last night, so that's a good thing, right? We got some sleep. I'm feeling a little bit more juice. We're going down to Cabo for a little Mexico vacation. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Captain Medi. And again, thanks again for the 1 year of support. And Callie Simmer, I see that the text there as well, the $10 bank angle check from earlier. Thank you so much, Callie Simmer. I really do appreciate all of that. Very, very kind. Thank you, ma'am. All right, we'll continue loading up the aircraft here. 29330 flight plan. I see, looks like somebody just tuned in. We got 8 cars. Who's that? Center? Center just turned on. Let's see. Phoenix, that's us. Blah, blah, blah. 350. Squawk 0727. Cleared via the Storm 1. And we'll probably do 7 right for departure. So let's go ahead and load it up. Excellent. So departures. We're going off runway 7. 7 left. Let's do that again. Phoenix, departure. Runway 7 left. Storm. Be a long taxi all the way over there, but we'll go under the bridge. Storm 1. Out to Tucson, and then we're doing the Anec 1 Bravo off of Neco. So we're out to Tucson. That is the fix. Beautiful. Cabo, not sure what they're going to be landing down there. Let's throw in the VOR Zulu 16. I'm not sure. And we'll do the Anec 1 Alpha. Nope. It'll probably be the other way around. Let's see. SimBrief planned us for landing on runway 34. So let's just do 34 then. Arrival down there, which is what I landed on many years ago. 34, Anec 1 Bravo. We'll throw that in. We'll have some time to fix that en route as well. So flight plan 721 nautical miles, 1 hour 37 minutes en route today. So that's all set up. We'll do a secondary initialization, Phoenix to Phoenix. Now there is some things to be concerned about when it comes to single engine out of Sky Harbor. So, but we don't have the, actually I do have that chart next to me. Maybe if I have a minute we'll look at it. But if we have to come back around, we'll just come back and land on the ILS of runway 8. Throw this in here. Mick Sesh, what's going on, man? Checking in from mobile. Tyson watching from mobile today. Tyson, going down to your neck of the woods, my man. Good to see you. How you doing, bud? Hey, Glufu, good to see you, my man. Do you think the rotation feels off right now in the Fenix? Feels light to me, matching the white cross and the SRR bars. Goes yeet. What hardware are you using, Lilo Pilot? That'd be my first question. What hardware are you using? Let's look at the Magic Barrel Ref 2988 1100. Let's just call it 1300 here in the Barrow. Winds, we'll calm them out. Temperature 29. We're going to keep that in mind for our flex information here. 2988, that looks good. Progress page, we'll put Sky Harbor, KPHX, Perf, and NIT B. Are we done fueling? We are done fueling. 18.7 in the tanks. We'll go ahead and turn our fuel tank pumps on, seatbelt sign on, prime the APU. We'll throw that in the block fuel of 18.7 and confirm that it is balanced. So fuel is balanced, 93 aside. Wonderful. How's our condition air doing? See, we're right at the limit, 84 degrees for boarding. So let's go ahead and fire up the APU. We'll turn cabin fans on, APU start. We'll take a listen. Ooh, we got an American. Is that a 7.5? Oh no, it's not a 321. Got my heart up there. I thought it was a 321. Or, excuse me, a 7.5. Yeah, Bill's Mafia. This is a glide slope sim. Somebody mentioned it earlier. A glide slope sim, Aurora simulations, something like that for a Phoenix Sky Harbor, Bills. Yeah. It used to be BM World. Is it hot enough to leave flaps 1 during parking? What is it, 29? Nope, not yet, Jeremy. 38C, 37C? I have to double check. Roy Van Com, thank you for the 6-0, my friend. Appreciate the 6 Euro super chat, man. Dad, congratulations to you and your wife with the newborn. A lot of luck. Great sleepless times ahead. Roy, thank you so much, man, for the kind words. I do appreciate that. Yes, a lot of sleepless nights. But last night we are blessed. We got some rest, chat. So we're feeling good, and we are ready to do some flying. So APU is up and running. But thank you again, Roy. Chrono is on. Let's come over to... actually, real quick, since we have our PDC up, let's throw the squawk code in there. It's a squawk of 0727. Man, I like these squawk codes. 0727 on the squawk. We'll put you in TARA. We'll turn you on 0727. We're going to contact Albuquerque on 132.8. So we'll just go ahead and tune that into COM 1. Right click, tune COM 1. Love it. 32.8, 22.8 on standby, waiting for our fuel and our final load numbers to come in. We got the chrono going. As far as the SID is concerned, cleared via Storm 1 Tucson, climb via, expect 350 in 3 minutes. So we're climbing via. So let's go to our Navigraph. There's our SID. The top altitude, set this on our mini FCU, is going to be 8,000 feet. That is set. All right, we'll go back to mass and balance. We are about halfway there. Excellent. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the boarding. Did BM World rebrand? I believe so. I think it's Glide Slope Sim or something like that. Plain Crazy Mikey, I love it. I agree with you.
1229, contact forward center 135.
This livery at this airport is just so iconic, my man. The only one that's more iconic is the America West baby blue. And the America West like teal and green. I like that one as well. But absolutely. Jeremy says, is a ground air cooler than APU air? No, it's not. And Jeremy, I don't know if you caught just a few minutes ago, we did a really extensive test on ground air simulation, and the Phoenix actually has it simulated. So there's a technique that you can use if you're on ground air to make the cabin, or to get a little bit cooler air from the jet bridge, and that's to turn the cabin fans off. And when you turn the cabin fans off, there's less hot air mixing with the ground air. So typically you get cooler ground air, but you have less flow through the cabin. It's kind of a trade-off. That's actually simulated. I couldn't believe it. But when it's this hot, the best case of action is going to be run that APU. And even then, Jeremy, as we go into these summer months, especially 321, even then the APU is can barely keep it cool enough on the ground. Some airplanes, they just get hot, they stay hot till you get airborne. Got my green tea and jumping in the car to leave for work. Have a great stream. Excellent, Terry. Well, if you're going to be leaving for work, we have the mobile. If you want to check the mobile stream out on the way down, but don't be driving and YouTubing, man. Drive safe. This looks real life, Oscar. I know, man. I love it. So I always want to make sure my views are bound. Yeah, all my views are still bound. This is the one without the window over here. Okay. All right, so there's 3 minutes on our timer. So we're going to go to ground services. We're going to request disconnection of the ground air, and then we're going to turn on the APU bleed air. The reason you want to disconnect ground air before you turn on the APU bleed air is because you could have chattering of the valves downstream of the inlet valve or something like that. So there's this thing where you're not supposed to run ground air and APU air at the same time. It happens sometimes. It doesn't happen sometimes. Airbus says you shouldn't do it. It could lead to fume events. It could lead to damage. I've never got a straightforward answer, but technically our procedures are to not use APU bleed air with the portable ground air. Can you start the APU sooner when it's hot instead of ground air? Depends on your SOP and the captain. What are the temps? Sky Harbor right now, real world, real time, is 30C outside, 30C. So that's a good thing to note while we think about our perf data here. So I ran some perf numbers on SimBrief, and it gave me some interesting readings. So let's go ahead and run this. I'm just going to do a prelim sync and calculate, see what this gives me. Chat, what is a reason that would cause you to go Toga in hot temperature environments? So even though your perf data comes back with a flex, what is that limitation that we have to be careful of? Flightbeam was onto it, put a tracking bit in download sceneries when they got bought, then found the tracking bit on sceneries on a certain piracy site. It was the same one, the owner of BM Sim. Interesting. Within 10C, yes, it is. So, 10 degrees of a flex temp within the outside air temperature. So now the Fenix is, I'm going to compare numbers. So the Fenix optimum, oh, you know what? Hold on, let me, you know what? I never reloaded. Dang it. I wanted to load the heavier one. What's our planned 18? Yeah, see, I have a different. Okay, so what I'm going to do is as soon as this boards, we're going to reload. Can we add weight? Dang it. I reran the numbers on SimBrief and I never reloaded it in the Fenix. So the SimBrief calculation is giving me speeds of 39, 52, 55 with a flex temp of 35. The problem with a flex temp of 35 is the OAT is 29C. We are within that 10 degree buffet margin of outside air temperature and selected flex temp, like y'all have mentioned in the chat, which is good. We got good Airbus connoisseurs here in the chat. So if that is the case, you would indeed have to do a Toga takeoff. So 10 degrees flex temp within your outside air temp being 29, it's 6 degrees off, that would do it. Now the Fenix is giving me different numbers because I have the wrong load sheet. So can I, without screwing this up, I want to reset my flight, import my newest flight. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to go mass imbalance, load aircraft. We're going to just instant load it, dismiss. Look at that. So now that's what I want. These are the weights I wanted. So let's send these to the McDo. Let's run a takeoff. We'll go ahead and sync final, sync live, calculate. Ooh, 48 on the Fenix. I'm going to go ahead and run a, with packs on, see if it changes it at all. 45. So the Fenix number is a little bit more conservative.
Radar, hello, 184.
It's giving us 45, where SimBrief is giving us 35 flex. We're going to go with SimBrief, and we're going to go Force Toga, yes. Flap 1. Actually, let's do no. I want to see.
You're clearly
Goes
caught
47.
for now.
Force Toga, yes. Flaps 1.
Maintain
Calculate.
VFR and call me back when you're coming back.
All right, so we're going to do these numbers: 51, 57, 60. Flaps 1.
Roger, apologize. We continue and clear for the Bravo, and we're leaving in approximately 3 minutes.
There we go. Those numbers look good. Perf over to the speeds. 51, 57, 60. Flaps 1. Toga set. Packs on. Migs, thank you for the 13 Canadian, my man. Appreciate you. Second, the congrats. All the best to you and your family, my man. Hey, Migs, thank you so much. Very, very kind. Thank you for that 14 Canadian super chat, dude. Very much appreciated. And I will pass it along to Mrs. V1. She's the one doing all the work. All right, so everything has been loaded. Is that going to reset my charts? I think it will a little bit. Not really, though. Okay, good. All right, so we are ready to go. What's we got going on down here? Status page, Cat 2 is in op.
1422, I'm showing you 300 feet low. Verify your altimeter set to standard.
I wonder why that is. Why do we have Cat 2 in op? Everything's aligned. Aligned. All right, well, let's go ahead and get out of here.
18496.
2496, go ahead.
18496 is a 22-1 POB, airline good here to Kilo Hotel, India, request flight following.
All right, we got, let's see, 163 to take off, 220 plus 6.
One more time. 18496, Kilo Hotel, India.
Close it up.
2496, squawk 2651 IDM.
Here we go. Morning, D-Doom. What's going on, my man? I'm a fan of anything Cactus out here. Header is readable on mobile now, but destination is truncated to 2 letters, better than yesterday. Plain crazy, Mikey. So the destination. Thank you for the feedback, my man, over there on the mobile. The limitation with my current overlay is I cannot resize the destination top header. Now the progress bar that will fill in along the flight on the cockpit cam is accurate, but the destination is cut off, and until Volanta allows us to customize the size of that, they can't fit it on that portrait mode. So I tried my best, but I did drop it down a little bit. Glad it's a little bit more readable, man. Appreciate you. All right, Vodka's on the jump seat. We're ready to go. Joe Plains, what temps do you get in the cabin? I remember you mentioned keeping the knobs at 10 o'clock. Yes, so right now, this is what we'd be running. Trying to cool it down.
Lower second, 18496.
Yeah, see, it's way too hot. It's 84 in the back, so we're doing our best.
VOR, maintain VFR.
Ladies and gentlemen, board flight 347, service down to Cabo, San Lucas. You do know it's a little bit hot back there in the cabin. It's just kind of hot outside today. This airplane's having a hard time keeping up. So once we get the engine started, it'll cool down rapidly. We do appreciate your business. About 1 hour, 37 minutes en route down to Cabo this morning. Cruising over there at 33,000 feet. Thanks again for flying US Airways and welcome aboard. All right, you ready? Do we call this guy for push? Let's go ahead and connect tug. Let's go to this cam. Park brake is set. Cockpit to ground. Ground cap, go ahead. You ready for brake release? Stand by.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Spec 1422, I'm showing you're 300 feet low. Just verify you're actually on standard.
It's okay,
we can try to single engine taxi, Nash. You want to do a single engine taxi? Let's see if we can do it. It might be a little bit heavy, though.
Roger. I'm showing you 300 feet low. You're currently showing 35,000 feet. Correction, 35, yeah. 35,
I guess we'll push back and call him ready to taxi, right? All right, cockpit to ground. Brakes are released.
Okay,
Clear to push.
Albuquerque Center, good morning. Southwest 1243 flight level 350.
Cockpit to ground, you're clear to start.
Albuquerque Center low, when able, clear Turkey.
Starting engine 1.
We'll go direct Turkey now, Southwest 1243.
Albuquerque Center, good morning. Southwest 1920 on the ground. Phoenix, got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Is taxiway Bravo on the ramp?
Taxiway Bravo is a taxiway, so negative, it is not the ramp.
Alright, Southwest 1920, request push on taxiway Bravo.
South 1920, I'm showing you at the south side, is that correct? That's Charlie 14?
That's affirm.
Yeah, you're not anywhere near Bravo. Line 8 is right behind you. The lines are not controlled, so call short of taxiway Delta, ready to go.
Alright, my apologies. I thought that said Bravo. I'll give you a call back.
All the Cherokee Center, good morning, sir. Southwest 33 Center 9er, Flight 35.
Cockpit around, push complete, set brakes.
Bravo, Lima.
Brake set. Clear disconnection with the pin out front.
3379, African Center, last flight reroute to Albuquerque today. I was ready to copy.
We should do 2 engines to cool the cabin, but
33 Center 9er.
we'll see what happens here. We got an Avail light.
3379, I have a flight reroute to Albuquerque.
We'll leave the
when ready to
engine on.
copy.
Yellow electric pump is on.
We're ready to copy.
Technically, we should do the bleed off, or we'll turn the bleed off. We'll see what it does with one engine. All right, single engine APU bleed is off. Flaps coming up. That's armed. We're doing flaps 1.
South 3379, you clear to the Albuquerque airport via direct to Mali. That's Tango Mike Alpha Lima Echo. To join the Burrito 1 arrival, that's Bravo Romeo Romeo Tango Oscar 1.
All right, let's go ahead and pull up to Bravo. Is that an auto? Yeah, it's an auto.
Can you say the first one?
Hear the yellow hydraulic pump?
Arrival, please, Southwest 33 Center 9er.
South 3379, it's in the chat now. It's Tamale, Tango Mike, Alpha Lima Echo to join the Burrito 1 arrival. Bravo Romeo Romeo Tango Oscar 1.
A little bit of stutter there on the ground again.
Molly and
yeah, we're going to be too heavy to... Yeah, we're for Microsoft Physics, we're too heavy to do a single engine. Let's go ahead and fire up number 2. Let's go ahead and start 2. Brakes are set. Yellow electric pump is on. APU bleed is coming back on. We're 182,000 pounds here. Let's go ahead and start 2. Waiting for our bleed pressure to come on. There it is, 32, starting 2.
Direct Molly.
I'm gonna need this guy to figure it out over there in frickin' direct Molly.
Yeah, you're unable to clear direct to Molly. Tango Mike Alpha Lima Echo.
Tango Mike Alpha Lima Echo. Direct 33.
Okay, Mountain. No, I'm on the what is it? Radeon 7900 XTX. They removed that limitation, Joe Plane, for us. Used to be 40% or 1.05. They actually removed that. So you can use as much as you need to, just be cautious. That's our latest situation. But yeah, I do wonder why we get this little bit of a stutter on the ground. Oh well, we'll deal with it. Alright. Where's the invisible line? There it is. He may give us runway 8, we'll see, but probably 7 left, somewhere around there. Let's give him a call. We're going to call him up short of Charlie, I guess. Let's do an after start. Boom, boom, that's set, that's set. APU bleed is coming off, that's coming off. We're ready. And Albuquerque Center, Cactus 357 on the ground, Sky Harbor, ready to taxi with information, Foxtrot.
Enable squawk mode Charlie, please.
Who is that for?
Cactus 357, Albuquerque Center, runner 7 left taxi, Charlie Sierra Echo, follow company A320 ahead of you.
Charlie Sierra Echo 7 left for Cactus 357, will follow company. Ooh, here comes America West. Is that my sim stuttering or is that him stuttering out there?
Southwest 1920, ready taxi 07 left, Foxtrot.
South 1920, running 7 left, taxi via
What
Echo.
is that? What is going on with that
Taxi
guy?
Echo 07 left, Southwest 1920.
Alright, here we go. Shoot, I hope it's not my sim. How concerned are you about fume events? They're real. They're concerning. Not much we can do about them. Alright, he says Charlie Sierra Echo. So we're not going under the railroad or the, what's it, the little Skylink bridge. Alright, brake check. Pressure 0.
Southwest 3379er.
Do our flight control checks here as we roll out.
Report back. Origin.
I'm taking a 321 LR next week for the first time. Are the LR newer and this one is in the sim? Yes.
2623 Albuquerque Center, lower running 7 left, activate Charlie.
Yes, it is.
Sierra Echo, followed company 3.
This particular one is a 2013.
U.S. Airways in front of you, A321.
Do the extra hot temps affect the APU's performance in any noticeable way? Migs, yes they do. Makes it much more challenging to cool the cabin. Alright.
607, hold short of Echo on
Sierra. Alright, let's do a flight control check. Full up.
Echo on Sierra,
Full down, neutral. Full left. Full right, neutral. 0.9 is what we need on the trim. 0.9 is set. Rudder. Full left. Full right, neutral. That looks good. Flight controls are checked. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config checked. Didn't RMU, I guess. We're waiting on the cabin. Radar PWS is on. Auto TRA, we're looking good. Looking for
607,
Sierra.
number 2, follow the southwest to your left, continue taxi.
That cabin.
Southwest, continue taxi.
Just got Flight Tampa Kitech converted from P3 to X-Plane 12. Ooh, in the Felis Shakovic. That's gonna be some spice, my man. Alright, Sierra is the first left here, so we'll make a left onto Sierra. Waiting on the cabin.
FedEx 1422, contact Los Angeles.
300 viewers, 85 likes, unacceptable.
Roger, 6.52.
If you like the 321, if the 321 is your favorite Airbus, hit the like button. I can't wait for that Neo. Getting more excited about that every day. I'm flying a 321 tomorrow down to Mexico. I'll have to do a little fly-along challenge. Fly-along landing challenge? Where's Zippy at? I think our pod is up to $20. Migs, this is Glide Slope, Phoenix Sky Harbor. Aero, it's one of, it depends, Aero. So my favorite to fly is the 319. My favorite, if it's going to be a bumpy day, is the 321. And the 320 just kind of sits in the middle. Are we going to clear this? This doesn't look correct here. Buddy. Oh, that's cool. Got the cars down there in the terminal building. Bridge is a little off, I think. There might be an update, too. I haven't updated this since I bought it. Migs, this airport looks great at night, though. Sunset out of here is fantastic. What's up, Infield? Good to see you, man. Question for me, do I ever fly the 318? No, I've never flown the 318. Charlie Sierra Echo is the second right-hand turn. So here's Delta. And there's our America West down there. Charlie Sierra, then Echo. Infian, yeah, I am. I should be. I was. Am I? You tell me.
South 1921, 1105, running southwest, clear for takeoff.
7 left, 1 to Oscar, takeoff southwest.
Added you as a friend, except so your logo is green. Nah, you have to find me. Dedication. Vodka, you get your Honeycomb Bravo fixed yet? Mr. V1, I'm taking the 321 LR next week. Is the LR newer than the one you're flying? Are we back? Are we back? Can you guys hear me? We are back. Chat. I don't know what that was all about. Sim just went kapoots. We're loading right back in. Off to get the marzipan latte. Hold on. We're going to load back in on the runway. We were almost there. Give me a second. We're going to load right back in. Oh, it loaded us on the wrong runway. Gross. I guess we'll take this runway. Hold on. We good. We're resurrected. Watch this, chat. We can. The Fenix has got it going on. We'll go panel states ready. Activate. We'll load our stuff up. We're getting right back there. Hold on. I think something was going on because the stuttering. Something was going on from the get-go. We'll do instant load. Beautiful. Speeds. Sync. Let's go back to our weights. We'll send a McDo. Calculate. We're doing a Toga. Flaps. Packs on. Send a McDo. 8,000 is set. Get our lights on here. Just it crashed and it just rebooted on me. Just a straight up rebooter crash. Let me reset my a mini FCU here as well. All right, mini FCU is not back. Stand by. Phoenix rising from the CTD ashes on this channel is pure cinema. Migs, thank you for the 6 Canadian, man. I appreciate you, dude. Very, very kind, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're not giving up, man. No way. We're not giving up just yet, chat. We are not giving up just yet. We are not giving up yet. What did I just do? All right, we're coming back. We are coming back. We're not leaving. No sim sounds? Yeah, that's on me. Here we go. Sim sounds are coming up. Sim sounds are back. We're back. Everything's back. Airplane, let me launch the mini software. Let me get our tracker going back up. Whew. All right. That's back. We'll set 8,000. Sounds are back. Flaps are config 1+F. Flight controls. We'll do all that. That looks good. Things are connecting. I'm not going to connect back to the network until the... we get airborne, all right? Let me check the vertical. We need to get you fixed as well. Migs dropping 5 gifted subs. Migs, thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted subs. Migs isn't giving up on me either. I appreciate you, Migs. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you. 5 gifted subs. We're not done yet, Chad. I'm not giving up. Oh, you know what? I need a reboot. Atlanta. I think that might be what's causing that issue there too. Welcome aboard the CTD simulator. Listen, I wonder if it had something to do with this is interesting. Our moving map is all jacked up. That's okay. We're gonna roll without it on the cockpit cam. Sorry about that. He was looking for the. I'll see if I can fix that in cruise. All right. I think we're back though. If 2020 crashed, it would have been another 10 minutes before you come back. Exactly. So we're up and running. Let's go ahead and throw you into the takeoff cam for all the flight deck cam users. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to kill that preview. All right. Let's do a quick little flight control check. Full up, down, neutral, left, right, neutral, pitch trim, up 0.9. Spoilers, auto brakes max. Pull this out. Speeds are set. Are you gonna come back? Yeah, I'll join. Oh, I gotta get our flight plan back in here. Whoops. Let me do this real quick. I'll join as soon as we get airborne a little bit. I hope it loads our flight plan back in. I'll have to do it manually. What? Mike, Sierra Delta. Weird. Check QNH, yeah, we'll get those. We'll do 88, we're going up to 350. Or Cactus 357. Boom, boom. Perf speeds, Fenix, 7 left. Storm 1 Tucson. We'll deal with our arrival once we get a little bit closer. Fuel predict page. How's our fuel on board? 19.6. That looks good. Magic Barrel ref update. All right, constraint mode 29 or 88. We're set, chat. We are set. It says 0.3 on the fuel on board on landing. That I'm concerned why. Oh, distance 1,100 miles. What's going on with that, chat? Why does it say our distance is 1,100 miles? Got to go through Atsu and initialize there first. Nope, we're back. Fake news, AJ. We're good to go. A little bit tight on gas, but we'll make up for it. All right. Whew. Nothing's going to keep us down. All right, takeoff config test. Well, that's not good. Oh, flaps 2.8. All right, I guess I want to do flaps 1 takeoff. We'll never get out of here. We're doing flap 1 plus F. Resend those speeds. Flaps 1 plus F, 51, 57. All right, takeoff config check. PWS is coming on. Auto, on. Our squawk 0727. Boom, boom. Your stripper fell off the stage. Team Stable Sim. Nah, get out of here with that. You'd still be loading in on Team Stable Sim. All right. Sorry for those delays. Let's go down to Cabo San Lucas, right? Here we go. Brakes released. Yoga's in chat. Spool them up 50. Let's go. Oh, gotta turn the sound up. Yoga. Oof, that phase out. I love that phase out. Mantoga SRS Auto Thrust Bleh. Thrust set. 100 knots. We're not on 7 left, but it's alright. The wrong runway in the box. V1. Rotate. Positive brake. Gear up. Nav. Fly with. We're not nabbing because we're on the wrong runway. Gosh, it flies so nice. Alright, so since we took off on the wrong runway, come to the right a little bit here, see if we can't get on that. Nav is blue. Alright, thrust reduction, here we go. Thrust climb, open climb. Nav blue. Lowering that nose a little bit. Let's see, we are heavy though. What's our min clean? Min clean speed is going to be 234. There's nav. We're going to maintain our flaps. We'll do an auto retract on this one here. Yeah, I'll reconnect, Josh. I'm going to reconnect the tower here as soon as we get out of the airspace here for departure. Bank angle check to the right. Here we go. Yeah, Phoenix photogrammetry is awesome, man. Take it easy, OK Mountain. We're going to keep the nose down. We're going to get an auto retract. There goes the flaps. Slats are sticking out. And now here comes S-speed flaps 0 after takeoff checklist. We complied with the 230. Now we're going up to 250 knots. Clean. Beautiful. We got a company message that's going to annoy me. Let's pull that out. It's just our load sheets. Something, you know what, it's interesting though, something was definitely happening, because, you know, the sim is just butter smooth now, but on that taxi out, we had that, that weird little hiccup, and I think whatever was hiccuping eventually was too much for it, and it just said no more. Not sure what that was. I love climbing out of Phoenix though. Sim down a little bit more. Bank angle check to the right. Watch your speed. 250. I love the 321. Bank angle check. All right, 7 for 8. We'll level at 8 and then I'll attempt to reconnect. I'm going to level at 8,000 feet. We'll get the autopilot on so we can deal with the radios here, see what he wants us to do. Speed alt star 8,000. Get ready to engage. Autopilot 1. All right, let me connect. Hopefully I'm not connecting right into the freaking controllers situation. Tune 32.8 on COM 1. Albuquerque Center, Cactus 357.
357 after.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. We had a sim crash there. We rebooted. Are we okay to connect here? We're just level 8,000 on the Storm 1.
Yeah, I got you over. Ready contact over channel or climb maintain level 350.
Climb maintain for level 350, Cactus 357. Thanks. All right, 350 set, pull for open, thrust climb, open climb. Let's do a spool up here. Phoenix won't load in 2024 for me. Really, Captain G?
Indicated airspeed and climb.
210.
That's 19, 20. Yeah, you're about 100 knots slower than the guy behind you. I'm going to need to speed it up just a little bit. Give me your best forward speed on climb, please.
Back to the horizontal stream? All right, Joe. We'll see you, bud. I just had to pull up my other chat. I had the other chat box off there. All right, we're back. We're cooking with gas now. We got everything running up. Here comes 10,000 feet.
607, can you accept level 390?
Lights are coming off.
We can do 390 for code 607.
Oh, forward call.
607, roger, calling stand level 390.
Out of 10,000, we'll copy the active flight plan. Nothing to change in hard tune. We'll put in Mike Sierra Delta in the prog page. Make sure COM 1 and COM 2 is monitoring Delta operations. We'll throw you into airports. Take a look at our optimum max 35. He's got us climbing to 353. It'll be tight. We'll see. We'll have to come back and check on that. Let's lower this to remind myself. Vertical stream, nice for takeoff and landing. Horizontal, better for everything else. Absolutely, Joe. That's kind of what we're going for too. I'm going to. I'm using that going to be mostly for making the shorts and stuff.
Traffic 12 o'clock, 18 miles.
All right, noise canceling headphones are on. All right, we're cruising now.
Airbus 321.
All right, thank y'all for hanging with me on that. What's good, Steven? Good to see you, my man.
Delta 2082 traffic, opposite direction, 12 o'clock, 17 miles.
Header's blank for you.
330, a 737.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the map tracking, and it's I almost think I'm going to restart the tracking software. I wonder if that is something to do with it. We'll see. I'm going to restart the header and everything for you guys. Why is the standby compass deployed? Avpalo, because I want to remind myself that our max is 35.3, and when we once we get up here a little bit higher, maybe through 18,000 feet, I'm going to double check our altitudes, and then I'm going to maybe request a lower altitude, maybe 33, just for a few thousand, just for a few miles, or a couple, maybe, I don't know, a couple of minutes at least, so we can burn some more gas before we go all the way up there. Technically, we could go to 35 right now. The max is 354. Our cruise is 35. Our optimum is 33, however, and it would be a little bit tight. So it would be a pretty lengthy climb out, and as long as it was smooth, I'd probably be okay with it. But if it starts to get bumpy, I mean that window gets tight in there. So all right, Barnyard Storm Tucson. Oh, we need the rest of our flight plan to load up as well. That would be bad if we just continued flying and not have our flight plan loaded in. Why do I need the compass? Because the compass is abnormal, and it reminds me when there's something abnormal going on. Off to Tucson Airways, we're going to put J92 to DASFU. So I'll drop the compass for other things too, like say something gets broke while we're boarding, maybe like an armrest or something small, and now we need an amendment. I'll drop the armrest to remind myself that, hey, dummy, don't leave the gate until we get our armrest amendment filed, So anytime there's a little abnormal, I drop that standby compass. All right, to Aneco, and then from Aneco we're joining. Beautiful, that all syncs up. Aneco 1 Bravo. Our flight plan is back loaded. Aft passengers are still cooking, are they? Let me take a look. Let's see. It is 84 back there. Yeah, let's try to cool this cabin down. Max cool. Landing at destination? Hey, why did we have that compass down for? Exactly. Exactly, Wine. Appreciate you, man. Checking in over on mobile. It says, gotta say, the addition of the vertical stream is nice for mobile. Good to have both, and this is the normal stream too. Awesome, Zach. Thanks, man. Yeah, I didn't want to take anything away from the main platform. But yeah, just to have an additional, and I mean, and that's the benefit of the new software that I'm using. I just have to get used to it. You know, I've been using the same stuff for 6 years, and now I'm changing it, so it takes a little while to get things all back up and running smooth. I'll turn this thing down a little bit more. It's getting kind of loud in here. Wingnut's in the house, though. Are you out flying today, man? Going out over South Phoenix. Actually, we're way out over Casa Grande now, aren't we? Getting close to it. Tucson up off the left there. They need to fix the shadows. Like, you see how the shadows on the windows still bother me. I wonder when they're going to fix that. Reserve call. Gross. Business class upgrade for travel privileges with 5 one-world carriers launching today? Really? Well, that's pretty neat, T-Mac. Do you ever use the AIDS Alpha call-up for Rec Max? And what are your thoughts on using that as a tool? AIDS Alpha call-up. No, I've never done that, Mackie Dog. I think the only reason this plane is climbing is because the Earth is curved. This is a very accurate depiction. How we should be, what, 170-ish? 179, yeah, 179,000 pounds. We're doing 1,300 feet a minute. That's about right for a 321. Matter of fact, what we might do is 330. We'll keep our speed up. Cabin altitude is doing the weird bug thing here. Al, I've switched to just the straight OBS. OBS. Like, I used to use Streamlabs forever. I feel like Streamlabs it's definitely easier and it streamlines a lot of things for you. However, it is very intensive on the PC as far as processing power. It's more intensive than straight OBS. OBS allows more customization. You could do all the same things. You just have to build them manually and use additional plugins and stuff with straight OBS.
3379, third time calling you, but just listen out for your call, then please.
But it actually is less strenuous on my system.
Runway 21 transition. The Albuquerque altimeter 3017.
Streamlabs, in my opinion, doesn't feel as professional as OBS. Maybe just because OBS is a little bit more complicated.
Arrival.
Is this guy still on the burrito arrival? What's going on with this burrito guy? We've got so many people on the burrito arrival. All right, standard set through 18. How are we looking on our prog page? 355. Let's do it. We're gonna go all the way up. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. I am going to adjust our climb out speed. I'm going to select speed here. Let's dial it back to like 320. Get a little bit more climb rate going here. Looking forward to relearn the flare with the BFU? Oh yeah. There'll be a lot of little things to relearn with the BFU, that's for sure. Alright, if my SIP crashes again, it's because of Alanta. Rebooting it, get the tracker working for the flight deck tracker cam, yeah. I gotta say, I don't love...
624 contact, Houston Center, 132.77.
Situation.
1920. That's great.
This is why burrito 1 arrival from the 21 to 1 transition. 3329.
About 1920, Mazatlan is closed. Radio service terminated. Train correction. Radio service terminated. Change variable. Yeah. Vector 607, Mazatlan is closed. Radio service terminated. Change ride springs group. See ya.
Where do you contact you ATC? Have a great day. Cactus 607.
I gotta reboot this on the tracker over here. I feel like,
This is 721
what did we
contact
used to
forward
use in
center
X-Plane?
135.17.
Sim Toolkit, bro? Alright, tracker is updated.
30, Denver's closed, ready to terminate, if exchange approved, CN.
Alright. For those of you interested in the flight deck tracker cam, that is updated and working now. What's that clicking sound? That's me clicking my mouse, dude. Sorry. Alright. I just had to reset everything. We had that stream crash early on, so I had to get all caught up. But we're all good to go now. We're back. GPU and CPU, Bernard, exclamation point specs. We'll pull it all up for you, I think, if Nightbot is here. If not, it won't be. Let's see. Maybe Nightbot died too. Maybe I've got to reconnect him. There it is. Garmin Pilot had a major upgrade. Now we have smart charts. Any thoughts? I'm not familiar, Bearded Aviator. Smart charts. What does that entail? Does that entail like moving map stuff? What is smart charts? I managed to install the IAEs for the Flight Factor 320 on my lower end PC. Works great. Works a treat. Nice.
Yep, Denver's closed, ready to terminate.
If the sim crashes again, just blame me. I will. Once you get your settings figured out in OBS, share them with full flap. That guy's production quality sucks. Oh no, that's gonna have to be what do they say? Do your time, pay your dues. That's a pay your dues. Wigna, do you use OBS or Streamlabs? What do you use? Where did you get the Cryon on top? Looks cool. That's Volanta, plane simmer driver. We do seem to climb it out a little bit better, 320, but let's knock it back down to 310 for now. Let's go 310, get us up, take advantage of some of this wind while we can.
Traffic will be about 15 minutes.
OBS and 6 inches of tallow. Oh, man. Got to do a flight in and out of Tijuana. So, Mitchell Taylor, here's the thing, and especially since today's stream got all discombobulated there, I really want to do a 727 flight. There is a Mexicana livery that is being almost fully released. I have access to it courtesy of Whiskey Throttle. The Mexicana 727 just looks fantastic. So I kind of want to fly that on a second stream today if we have an opportunity to do that. Turn down the airplane here. Man, the 321 just looks so good over the desert. I'm just glad. It's actually, that was a good test though. So we were able to basically restart the sim and reconnect to the same live stream. So that's good. That all worked out then. What's the ETA on the next TDA? Migs, I'm hoping for this weekend, if I'm being honest with you, man. I'm hoping, I got to do Cancun tomorrow. I'm doing a Cancun flight tomorrow. But this weekend I should be opening up. I'm hoping we get to knock it out on Saturday. I miss the Dukes, man. V1, I hope you're doing good. What are the odds you shoot a Loc FPA, if possible, in a Los Cabos?
Do
they even have a Loc? I don't think they even have a Loc approach on there, right? So that's just VORs? I didn't know they had a Loc in there. Is the livery with the green tail the Mexicana? It's like, I forget, it's like green. The one I have is, Whiskey Throttle is making a full-on Mexicana pack for the 727, and it's got multiple variants. The one that I have is, it's kind of like that cream-colored, I guess, and blue. It looks awesome. I posted a picture in the Discord on the screenshot. The 321 is a close plane. We have the 757 minus the performance part. Exactly. That's where it lacks the most. The size-wise, people are, I mean, if you look at the dimensions, the 75 is not all that much bigger than the 321. However, the performance is where it's just, it's completely different. I mean, we'd already be at 35,000 feet in a 757.
290 Albuquerque, are you here?
You know, be no shot that we'd be still cruising around here 26.6 and climbing. What did full flap say? Did I miss something? I heard Big Sim was talking smack. Flying Canuck, what's up, man? Good to see you. V1, hope you're doing good. What are the odds? Oh, I already read that one. Low FPA. No, I hopefully not. Hopefully we don't have to shoot one of those. How often do you step climb on your normal routes? Douglas, when I'm flying something more than 700 miles, 800 miles in a 321, then we might start looking at step climbs. But generally speaking, the step climb is going to be for those transcons, those real long flights. In wintertime, you know, in the wintertime we got a real strong jet stream blowing west to east. You'll definitely be doing step climbs. You'll take off out of New York going to LA. It's going to take you 7 hours almost. So you'll have some step climbs. But on a short flight like this is only an hour 37-minute flight, takeoff to touchdown. So there's really no need for a step. You can see we can go all the way up to our planned altitude. We continue to lighten up as we climb, right? So we're still plenty good. 357 max. So we're looking good. Are my strobe lights on? They should be. Are they not? We did have to reset everything. Yeah, strobe's on. Everything's on. Nope, no green dot today. Just a short flight, man. About it, like I said, hour 30 en route. Is there such thing as a step down? Maybe not planned, Bill's Mafia, but yeah, we absolutely do step down. So on a long flight, if the ride is rough, and let's say you want to cruise at a lower altitude, what you can do is you can, like, we'll do this. So we'll copy the active flight plan. I'll show you. So I'll copy active. All right, I'm going to go to secondary perf or secondary init. All right, so that's at 35. Now, if I go here, it should tell me, okay, fuel on board 7.7. But let's say we want to step down because the rides are just terrible at 35. So what we can do is we go secondary init, and I'll change the cruise altitude. Let's say the ride, they say you got to get below 30 to get a smooth ride. So let's do 27,000 feet cruise in the secondary. Well, it should let me. Flight level 270. It won't let me do it in the secondary. But then you would go here, and your flight plan fuel would be accounting for that 27,000 feet. So that would be a step down. But you typically don't plan those ahead of time. That's just, you know, you try to get up and be as efficient as you can, and then if you got to go down, you go down. I wonder why it won't let me do that. Let me delete the secondary. Now let me go secondary, init, copy active, secondary, init, flight level 290. Huh. Yeah, something that's not working in the Phoenix right now is modifying the secondary cruise altitude. Water, what's up, man? Yeah, we got back in the air, dude. We're not giving up. I've just upgraded to the 330 and the sim operator made me shoot a loc on ride. Been a while since I've done one. Nice. We don't even, so we are, our loc approaches are so much, like they're all gone now. We do all the shows you how much I've been flying. What is it? Not the RNAV, the RNP stuff now. Everything is SLS, FLS. That's what I was trying to say. I could try to clear it. Let me try that, vodka. If you go secondary and init. No. What if we do secondary perf, cruise? No. Let me try, oh yeah, see, there we go. That adjusted the fuel. But that's kind of backwards to... how we would do it. This is still calculating a cruise at 35,000 feet. All right, we're going to increase here. Let's go 7.5 Mach. Lower the nose a little bit. So you're inputting all this when the ride is rocky. Does it get hard to see the text? No, not really. It's much easier to see the text on an Airbus McDo in turbulence than it is on a Garmin 750 and a Beech King Air. No, I won't take 299. I won't take any of it. I think it's just kind of, there must be a bug or some type of lockout. I'll see what happens when we cruise. I'm going to re-cruise this once we get up to cruise altitude here, and then we'll take a look at it one more time. What do we got going on here? Cactus Ops, delay card. I'll blame Team Vodka for...
My apologies. My launch closed. Racer 70, quick change approval.
Over to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. Cactus Sweep 72. All right, 22.8. Back up on 1. Now, I'm going to show you a technique. I don't necessarily condone this, but sometimes you have to do it. Basically, you're going 145 driver mode here. So what we are going to do is we're going to force the aircraft to climb faster and command maximum forward speed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the selected speed up. All right, I'm just going to run it all the way up so I have max thrust, right? I'm in fixed thrust. I'm in thrust climb right now. It's giving me all she can. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pull for vertical speed. I'm going to pull for vertical speed 1,000 here. Now you got to be very careful with what your indicated speed is going to do because it's going to drop off here. So you could see if I were to leave this, we may get all the way down into VLS. So you got to be very careful. We got 2,000 feet to go. That's a little aggressive. Technically about 1,000 feet is really all this technique is good for because outside of a more than 1,000 foot climb, when you do this, you really got to baby it. And this is how guys get stick shakers. This is how guys go into low speed protection, especially guys that have been flying 145s, 737s, and they do the vertical speed thing. They get in the Airbus, they do the same thing, but then they forget about it because everything is so nice and automated that they just end up going all the way up into VLS, and then you can have a hard time getting out of it. Now, if it's smooth, it's not a big deal. But if you start bumping around, then you could have problems. But as you see here, really nothing bad. We only dropped down to 7.4 Mach, so there's really no concern at all. Airplane's doing airplane things. Just kind of expedited our climb up there instead of hovering, trying to maintain that exact set speed. As we level into 35,000 feet, I'm going to just leave the selected speed window all the way up until I get up to, what did we cost index cruise today? We are planning 7.9 Mach, so we'll just leave it here. We're still in fixed thrust. The thrust hasn't moved at all. We're still max power, max climb thrust. Let's even set manage speed, alt star, Mach alt cruise. And you can see smooth, not a big deal at all. But I wouldn't do this in moderate turbulence. All right, now we can manage the speed. It's going to just go ahead and try to reach back to its managed speed target. All right, we're leveled off. Let's go ahead and get an updated on the winds. We'll do a wind request here. We'll pull that in. I wanted to try this real quick. I want to do secondary perf one more time. Secondary init. Just for an example. Nah, it won't let me change it, so we'll just leave it as is. Wind data's come in. We'll insert that. 7.5, 1840 UTC. That's 1 hour and 20 minutes from now. I don't know what happened to our hour 37 minutes en route. That seems like a lie. A smooth ride. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign off. I'm going to go ahead and reset these because people are probably starting to get cold. 65, 64, 69. So I'll put the aft right about there. We'll put the forward right about there, and I'll run mine right about there. Right about like that. Seatbelt sign is off. You're now free to move about the cabin. Settle in here on our wing view. Migs, thanks for the 6 Canadian as well, man. Appreciate you. Barry with a single tear of joy in his eye right now. Don't condone it. Attaboy, exactly. Yeah. The only reason I don't condone it is it's because I've seen new guys, and I've also seen guys that just forget. And I haven't forgot yet, but it can happen to anybody where you're just climbing out, you're in vertical speed mode, and you forget. And when you forget, then things start to go wrong. But as long as you're on it, like I said, that window of 1,000 feet, it really doesn't take long. But if you try to do this the whole climb, like if somebody goes vertical speed at 25,000 feet and we're going all the way up to 35, like, come on, man. Now you're forcing yourself to work when you don't need to. The airplane will do it just fine. There's other ways to manage it. You could essentially accomplish the same thing by just selecting speed and rolling that selected speed down. That would be the traditional Airbus way to do it, right? Instead of commanding vertical speed, you just keep it an open climb, select selected speed, and just start knocking that speed target down as it keeps going up. But just a little side tip there. All right, we're good here. I feel like the outside sounds are too loud, but kind of just chill here out over the desert for a minute. AJ, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. How do you think Mary Lou Ritten did on her DWI field sobriety test? I'm hoping she still did good on the heel and toe balance test. Random thoughts. AJ, thanks for the $5 super chat, my man. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah. Random thoughts of AJ. You never know. I always got to proofread. The problem with this software, too, the way I have my super chat alerts set up is I need to give myself more time to proofread AJ's super chats. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, dude. The 321 behind you must be light cruising at 38,000 feet. Probably, yeah. Or it could be a Neo. Well, I take that back. I mean, they can. Just depends on weight. Right now, we go to 36, right? We're 176.4. So there's a common Swiss cheese hole, forgetting that you said something a while back. Yeah, so my alleged contact with the FOQA committee at my regional operator, allegedly the number of stick shakers activated in the Embraer 170 was through the roof for guys going into vertical speed and FPA. The reason being, we had a mixed fleet. So we had a lot of 145 guys, a lot of CRJ guys, and that's how you flew the 145. You flew it with the vertical speed. At least that's how we did, right? So then they would come over to the 170 and over to the Embraer 170, and they would attempt to fly it the same way and then they would forget, and then there would be problems. Sounds like a podcast subject that will never be covered. Precisely. I'm really wishing I had my Moza Pond latte right now. I want to check my. Let's see here. Let's see what we're cruising at tomorrow. V1 After Dark TM when? I know, coming soon, Cody, coming soon. V1, I have a question. Which speed does the white band in the Duke, the one you adjust with the OAT, show guys? No, that shows TAS. So you're talking about when we get our TAS calculation, when you're dialing the your outside air temperature over your, sorry, I got something in my throat, coughing. Yeah, that's going to be your TAS. That's not going to be ground speed. A couple ways you can get ground speed in your Duke is the DME. If you have DME, the DME indicator, you flip it over to ground speed, it'll show you ground speed there. Obviously, any garment or glass that you have will also show you ground speed. And then, or you calculate your ground speed with your tasks and your average wins. Guys used to do that technique all the time on the 220. Don't really have it on the 737. It climbs pretty good, at least on the NG. Nice. That big 7.3 guys going to the 220, right? Or maybe MD-80 guys. MD-80 was vertical speed too, wasn't it? All right, I'm going to see if I can get the cruise map up. Over on the tracker. Hey, I think it is working, except we have to get rid of you. And you. Alright. Got the cruise page on. Ooh, why is this out of focus? There we go. Excellent. About to enter the Sea of Cortez. V1, any way you can show how to plan the secondary flight plan to land at departure? Yeah, Con, absolutely. So we do that every flight before we blast off, right? So in the secondary, you would initialize. Let me just delete it here real quick. So we'll delete the secondary. So let's just say you had your flight plan in there for takeoff, right? You want to go in your secondary. You would initialize your departure, and your arrival are going to be the exact same. So you would have KPHX. Man, the shadow line is crazy good right there. Cutting the keys in half. All right, you do it like so. Our software, you don't have to fill any of this out. It doesn't even give us orange boxes. Then you go here, back to your Fenix to Fenix. All you care about is the arrival, so you come back to the ILS 8. All you care about is the perf on the approach phase, right? You don't care about anything else. So you come back in here, you put your baro, what it be like 1450 or whatever it is. Some guys put in the actual winds. I put in the winds if they're not a headwind. If it's a headwind, I just zero them out. Temperature, I put what's on the ECAM. So say it's like 29 degrees on the ground, and then the altimeter, 29 or 87. So if you take off out of Sky Harbor, boom, you pop an engine, select heading, activate secondary, and you're coming back around. Now, where it gets a little bit more complex is if you have an engine out complex special. So if you have a single engine procedure out of Sky Harbor, so then let's put in, okay, runway 8 center line, all right, and then in the secondary, let's say it's you got to track the PXR, I'm just making this up, 080 at 25, all right, PBD 01, return, and then I want you to come back to PXR, boom. So you would program your engine out procedure in the secondary so you could fly it in lateral navigation mode or with the autopilot on. So in that case, V1, engine failure, positive rate, gear up, select heading, activate secondary, manage nav. So now you literally just fly the green needles, you fly your nav course while you're single engine. It makes it go much smoother. Now there's also engine out SIDs that are selectable. So in the secondary, when you go to the departure, you go departures and it says EO SID runway 08. So then you pick that, and instead of building it manually like I just did, you would select the engine out departure SID, and it's literally just flying the airplane the same way you would fly it with two engines, except you have one engine. And now you've got other procedures that you got to do, right, such as cleaning up the airplane. Are you going to restart, not restart? Is it a fire? Did you extinguish it? Et cetera, et cetera. So the secondary makes it way easier during engine outs than any other airplane I've flown that didn't have a secondary flight plan. Because you don't even have to think about it. You program it before departure, and then you go. It's in the box. And then you can do all your attention can focus on managing the aircraft. We can let Dave check it out. Might be a software version issue too. It might be vodka, but it's definitely a bug, because if you go to secondary perf, or secondary init rather, this is a modifiable window because it's a big blue. So let's delete secondary, copy active, secondary perf. Yeah, see how this is big blue? This means it's pilot input friendly. See, this is modifiable. I wonder if it wants everything. Let's see. I'm just curious. No, see? Yeah, it's just like it's a bug. So it's definitely a bug. All right, see ya, Cortez on the horizon. Oh, that looks cool. All right, let's get some tunes on. Let's relax. I wonder if FS Labs can do it. If FS Labs can do what, Oscar? Oh, you mean the secondary? I'm sure it can. Modifiable. At least it should be. I'm pretty sure that the Fenix was able to do that. It just, I don't know, maybe over the months of updates and stuff, it kind of got bugged up. Where are we right now? We are over Hermosillo down there. I'm pretty sure I did a career mode Vision Jet, Cirrus Vision Jet flight out of there. ISA right now is minus or plus 5. Is it plus 5? Yeah, it's plus 5. ISA plus 5 right now. Where we're at. ISA plus 5. Hermosillo. Yep. Hermosillo. Well, thank y'all for sticking with it and hitting the like button, even though we had that stream crash there. I mean, that's unfortunate. Kind of ruins a little bit of the vibe as we taxi out, but I appreciate y'all hanging tight and working through it. I should have known something was up, though. Because that stuttering was not like a normal stuttering. It was like something was, I don't know, maybe something was trying to load in the background, or maybe something didn't load correctly. Because it was doing funky things. La paso bien. Bien. Looney. That was like the #1 song that comes up on our Latin playlist. Hermosillo. Hermosillo? Thank you. Hermosillo. Do you prefer the look of the wing fences or the sharklets? I prefer the sharklets, man. I used to be a wingtip fence guy, believe it or not. But then I got converted. Plain Crazy Mikey dropping the 5 gifted subs, my man, over on the mobile version. Plain Crazy, thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted subs to all the Flight Deck Cam viewers over there. You know what? That could be a workaround. If you never got a membership from the mainstream. Oh, I forgot to put you guys back in full screen. There we go. If you never got the membership, when there's too many people here, head over to the Flight Deck Cam. I'm still trying to think of the proper name. I want to call it the PCC, the Pilot Cockpit Cam, but it's also a flight tracker, and Flight Deck also sounds better. I want a 3-letter identifier for the second stream. I like PCC, Pilot Cockpit Cam, or FDC, Flight Deck Cockpit Cam, FDCC. Lear 35 stream when? Bill's Mafia. This week, I think, dude. So I've actually just reinstalled it. I got to get all my bindings done because I watched that Hoover's video on that Lear 35 that crashed going into Teterboro on the circling approach, and I was like, you know what? I want to fly the Lear 35 again. So, Flight Deck to Sim Cam. I might get. We might get a cease and desist from Flight Deck to Sim, but that's funny. Flight Deck to Sim Cam. I like that, Douglas. Where's the balloon song? The balloon song has been lost forever. It has been lost forever. Andrew P, welcome in, man. With the real A32X, can you still perform RNAV approaches using the bricks on the PFD? It seems in the Fenix when selecting FLS option, the LDEV, VDEV are not available. That is... Okay, Johan, so I think you're kind of confusing. I was going back in the chat reading your message. I think you're kind of confusing two different things here. So an FLS and an SLS approach are to be flown, and they will look like ILS approaches on the PFD. So you're going to have a diamond. Now, it's not going to look exactly like an ILS, but it's going to be very similar, right? You have the diamonds and the magenta. Doesn't matter if it's an RNAV. Well, it does matter if it's an RNAV. But if it's an FLS or SLS flown approach, if you're capable and you're doing those RMP approaches, that's what it's going to look like. The brick in the stick is specifically to an RNAV approach without FLS or SLS capabilities. So then you're going to be flying it brick in the stick, which we call. You fly the lateral deviation brick or the vertical deviation brick. So we don't even have the LDEV brick in ours. We just have the vertical deviation brick. The other way you could fly it is by just doing like track FPA. I think there's some operators that do that as well. But they're all, you got to kind of separate them into different categories. We really got to get the Moza profile worked out for the new firmware. Vodka, is there? I need to download the new software. V1 FDC. I like that plane, Crazy Mikey. I like that. Flight Deck 2 stream with TWO. Oscar, that's a good one too. Flight Deck, it should be FD TWOS as a Flight Deck to stream. That's funny. Alex, what's up, man? I'm doing well. How are you, my friend? Just make it Flight Deck to V1 SimCam and you'll be fine. And GLS is the same too as ILS, SLS, and FLS. Yeah. Now we're all getting confused. There's so many acronyms, it's insane. That's like when you guys say like an acronym I don't even understand. Like, what is that? I have so many in my mind, or abbreviations. It's like I don't know all of them. And y'all always have some interesting ones that I've like, what? All right, Sia Cortez, chat. This is the largest great white shark breeding ground that we know of. Who has more acronyms, IT or pilots? That's a good one. I don't know much about IT, Eric R., so I don't know. Someone who's into both, let me know what has more. I would imagine IT's got more, dude. There's so much in IT. Just thinking about it, there's got to be more. Even just the size of files, all the acronyms, like kilobytes, megabytes, megabits, kilobits, pentabits, whatever it is. Flying utility cockpit kit. Dude, I like that full flap. We'll just call it the fucking kit. We'll call it the F-it. The Flying Utility Cockpit Kit. That's funny, man. That's a good one. Bonus points if you're IT for the military. That is true. Our very own water IT is in the house. You're just relaxing after flying in the morning? I love a love-hate relationship with 4 a.m. reports. I hear that, dude. AB9 finally gets here today. How much of a pain going to set up? It shouldn't be too much. Super Ginger Bro. So Team Vodka's here. He's the guy to ask. So thank you, man. I appreciate the congrats. But as far as your AB9 setup, apparently there's a new software download, or right, according to Team Vodka, and that one I think is causing some issues with our previous profiles. Team Vodka says plug it in and do not do Windows calibration. So it shouldn't be too hard to set up, man. It's once you get it installed and linked to your sim, it should be relatively easy plug and play. Now, as far as getting our specific profiles, I think there is currently some issue with that. I think because the latest version, like I said, it has some issue. So let's see what Vodka says here. Who dropped the 10 gifted subs? Mr. Johan dropping the 10 gifted memberships, man. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. Very, very kind. If you pick up a membership, make sure you shout them out and say hi. North Star, I see you over there checking in on mobile. How you doing, my friend? The new firmware for the AB9 implements new features and controls which aren't in our old profile, so it affects them until we adjust it. Okay, Vodka, we'll see if we can squash this. I don't know if I can do it today. Maybe tomorrow after I get back from Cancun. I don't know. It's going to be kind of late. I was hoping to sneak out a stream tomorrow night, do a Thursday night stream. We haven't flown at night in a while, but I might be wiped out, chat. We'll see. Unless we do a fly-by-wire night stream Thursday night. But we gotta check it out. We gotta see what's going on with the new features. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the info. I downloaded software in advance. I'll use just use a default preset. I can show you. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can show you. I don't have it on this software yet. Don't we have screenshots, Vodka? Don't you have screenshots of the force sensitivities? Because what I was going to say, you just set the... Don't use the default. The default preset's awful. Use... I thought we had screenshots in the AB9 section of the Discord that shows you where to set your settings to. Just to get guys started. Oh, this is cool. Here we go. About to go feet wet. Gotta find ourselves a good angle here, though. Midday is pretty gross, but you guys wanted to fly in the summer heat. Miss V1's in the house. What's up? You're not taking, you're not landing or taking off for some reason. I always pop in during those times. Hey, what's going on? We were just entertaining the idea of a second stream. Are you going to go get... When are you going to pick up the kiddos? I need a marzipan latte. Chat, if Miss V1 can come in clutch with a marzipan latte, I think we should fly the 727 from Cabo to Mexico City. It looks like X-Plane 12 right now. Kind of. Middle of the day. But this looks like X-Plane 12 with 1,000 mods and the best it will ever look. This is 100% default in the worst time and day setting that you'll ever see in the simulator. Miss V1 gets to... What? It's so funny hearing V1 say marzipan latte. Oscar, how do I say it? They're so good, dude. They're so good. I thought Turk joined the team for a second. I know. Canadian Turk need to go right off into the sunset together. Two largest grifters. Oh yeah, that's true. If you're gonna need someone to come hang out with V1's mom, yeah, that's true. My mom is in town. Water, I know you're a young man and you don't understand these features yet, but when like a week after you have a child, it is not recommended to attempt to have another child. You'll have to excuse Water, Miss V1. He's just a young man going through life, learning things. $40 days. 40 days. Exactly, 40 days. Man, it is, I kind of like our, I like this cam better here. At least this looks a little bit more realistic. Maybe we should do realistic mode. Oh, that's flickering. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Is that better for you, Canadian? I challenge you to make your X-Plane 12 look like that. Where do I join the Discord? Right there. That should be a link. I wonder if it still works. Does that link still work, Water? There's already too many mini V1s in the world anyway. I agree. I don't get why Microsoft still haven't made a flyby camera. TSC, I'm right there with you, my man. What I've been hearing, though, is the... what's it called in 2020? That camera? Something flight camera that everyone loves in 2020. Once that drops to 24, I think that's all we're going to need. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why we don't have it. Hello from Guatemala. What's going on, Jose? Chase plane. Thank you. Yes, chase plane. All right, Miss V1's out of here. See you. Everyone say bye to Miss V1. She's going to go tame the children. Well, she only has 2 of them today. The other 2 are at summer school. So, Mazapan latte when? I think what X-Plane will always be superior over Microsoft's camera. Yeah. The camera system in X-Plane is great, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I used to say that the X-Plane replay system was the best too, but I actually disagree now. I think that having a standalone recorder that records all the features is better, because if your sim crashes during replay, all you got to do is reboot the sim and then you load up the replay that you saved on a separate file. So I actually prefer this replay system over the X-Plane one. Now, granted, you have to remember to start the replay, but I still think it's better than the X-Plane one now. However, the camera system, yeah, still goes to X-Plane. But what's crazy is is my FSX 2002, even, shoot, did 98 have it? 2000? I don't know. But I know FSX and FS9 for sure had it. You had flyby cam, tower cam, you had slow-mo flyby cam, spot view, free view. You had all of these wonderful camera views. They just never came back in 2020 or 2024. Kip on the ground says, I hate the X-Plane camera system. Can't even bind my thumbstick to FreeLook without plugins. Always resets my external views after I move them. Yuck. Yeah? Say, and I haven't messed with any third-party hardware for views in X-Plane, so I haven't experienced that. But I could see where that would be a frustrating point, especially if you want to have, like you said, a thumbstick or extra hardware. So, what's up, Kip? Hope you're doing well, man. Other plane cams, tower cam, yes. And remember picture-in-picture? So I remember landing the PMDG in St. Martin. I would always, for some reason, I just loved to do it. I would load up the mission, the St. Martin mission, and I would change to PMDG 737, and then I would have picture-in-picture. I'd have wing view right here, and I'd have like a tail view here, and then I would fly the approach, and I could watch wing view and everything in real time. Granted, it was at 5 FPS, but for its time period, it was amazing. I also remember, though, in FSX, like accidentally hitting the wrong view key, and then it would crash my sim, because it would go to, like, if you were out over the middle of nowhere and then you hit like next tower view, sometimes it would select a tower that was 100 miles away or further, and it would just, in the midst of trying to load it all, it would just freeze up and crash. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Kip. It would go over 4 gigabytes of memory and crash. Exactly. Exactly. The X-Plane replay system is simple, and it's nice, but I mean, and I guess maybe it's more of an X-Plane 12 thing, because I don't remember an X-Plane 11, like in the heyday of X-Plane 11, I don't remember a lot of crashes during replay. But I have had several in X-Plane 12, especially in the beta, where you start the replay, or if you click too far, then the sim locks up and crashes on you. So there is a trade-off, you know. I mean, you don't have to start anything. It records everything exactly as it happened, which is nice. Like, sometimes there's still some discrepancies in the flight recorder versus replay. But also, it's also a plus. Like, you could fly the replay in sunset, sunrise, middle of the day. You could set up the sim, so it's good for cinematics, doing videos and stuff, where in X-Plane, it replays it exactly at the lighting condition that you flew it. So you have a little bit of less flexibility. So I still lean towards the replay system we have now. And, well, let me be clear. Not FCR. I'm not sold on this FCR replay thing in the sim yet. I'm not sold on it. For me, I've had it glitch out a couple times. If it works the way it's supposed to work, it works good. I still prefer my flight recorder from Flight Sim TO, where it's a third party. You launch the replay, or you launch the recorder, and it's done. It's off on a different monitor. You can minimize it. As long as it's recording, you're safe. It doesn't matter if your sim crashes. It doesn't matter if your PC blue screens. You'll still have the file. So Then you just load into the sim and launch the replay. But yeah, I kind of wish this acted more like the one we have on Flight Recorder. When X-Plane is loading, if you click on the screen, it locks up and crashes. That's true. You got to be very careful with where you click. Yeah, don't press the McDo key in the fail factor plane. Exactly. Canadian with the 17 months of support, my man. Appreciate you from your favorite King Air Captain. Hey, man. King Air Captain. Fantastic, Canadian. I didn't know you upgraded to Captain. That's fantastic, dude. FCR is an external app as well. Microsoft hired the guy that made it during the 2020 period. Ah. Okay, so they just basically added it as an included widget in the bar there. The Flight Factor 320 flies like a brick. I would agree. I get a lot of people upset when I say that. I feel like some of the Tolless planes fly a little bricky. It's hard, man, because there's so many other factors to it. Unless you flew my sim with my hardware and my profiles, then it would be something more related. Then we can have a better discussion about it. But when I say this flies better and you say that flies better, but you have completely different hardware than I have, there's so many things going on there. It just makes for problems. But I can't tell you the last time I flew. I can't tell you the last time I flew the Flight Factor 320. I mean, it's got to be years. I don't even have it anymore. On the King Air, 1900 is coming in November. Oh, that's right. So upgrade Captain on the 1900 in November. All right, Canadian. Well, I expect a 24-month milestone chat as a 1900 Captain. Maybe we'll have a 1900 in the sim by then. Who knows? What island is this over here? I got to remember. One of these islands is like big time Shark Island. Isle de Carmen. Santa Catalina. San Jose. I'm just looking over on the flight tracker screen here. Will you ever do the Aerosoft CRJ? Man. I don't know. I don't know, dude. It doesn't get me excited, if I'm being honest with you. We've done a few flights. The Bohr sound pack on it's fantastic. But yeah. I'm really curious about your opinion on the FS Labs. Got any plans on the future? If they bring it to 2024, man, I owe it to the people. I would definitely review it if it came to 2024. I'm not picking it up for 2020. So if they drop an update for 2024, I'll check it out for sure. We'll run a head-to-head. You know, if I was after just wanted to chase views, I would do the make a big catchy title, Fenix versus Flight Factor comparison video, and put a big X over one. This one is king. But I don't want to do it in 2020. Once it drops in 24, I'll check it out for sure. I flew the FS Labs a lot in FSX and P3D, so I know they can make a good airplane. I know systems-wise it's great. I'm not disputing that at all. Good evening, Captain. All the way from India here. Stream ending. What's going on, Sean? Nope, we're just cruising. We're cruising our way. We're in cruise cam right now, Sean. We're over the Sea of Cortez, and we're a little more than halfway to Cabo San Lucas. Looks like we're about 200 miles from TOD, or 150 from TOD. Would you fly the F100 in 2024? F100, yeah. Do we have an F100? Yeah, absolutely. E-Jets. Actually, Vodka, now that you mention that, maybe E-Jets next. Maybe E-Jets next. I love the E-Jets. Where's AJ at? He'd be so upset. But I want to see the FSS E-Jets in our in 2024, man. I don't think he sent me the thing. Man, it's bright out there, huh? I feel like we should set it to sunset. Let's go full flap sim view here. Yeah, it is working in 2024, correct. Ashton Sweet, I think they will be, man. Sean says, I've been following your streams and videos silently, mainly because when you are streaming, either I am flying or resting. Got 3 days rest, so I'm staying awake. Decided to drop by and say hello. Well, Sean, thank you so much for the for stopping by and saying hello, man. Hope you're nice and rested. I don't need no VNAV, but people think a great airplane in the sim is based on if it has VNAV or not. I agree, Canadian. I agree. Now, I agree with the frustrations of those that want VNAV and they haven't got it yet. However, my counter to that is at no point did FSS say they had VNAV when they were selling the airplane. Like from the get-go, it's been, this is an alpha product, this is what it doesn't have yet. So, I mean, yeah, you could be frustrated that it doesn't have VNAV, but no one ever said that it had VNAV yet either, right? And it's just software development. And has it taken a long time? It absolutely has taken a long time. But we get so caught up, or other people get so caught up in that, they're like, oh, the FSS E-Jet sucked. I'm like, man, the sounds are great. The model's great. Oh, but they bought the model from X-Crafts. Who? I don't care who. They could buy the model from Santa Claus for all I care. Does it look good? It sound good? It flies good in the sim, like hand flying feels good. So, from that point of view, I enjoy the airplanes, the E-Jets. But like I said, I do understand the frustrations, and I agree why people would be upset that it's taken so long to get VNAV. It's been an alpha longer than the actual 175 has been flying. I'm praying Bluebird decides to go 24 with the 7.5. Hey, Bo, me too, man. I don't think it's. I don't think so, man. Oh, I think we'll know more. We got what, 1 month? 1 month until Expo. I think we'll have a lot more information. I think we'll have the information that we need after Expo. But the last we heard from Bluebird, they were pretty set on 2024, or excuse me, 2020 release first. Which I actually had my hand on the delete button for 2020 today before the stream went live. I was like, man, I could free up like, I don't know how many gigs. I think I have like 200 something gigs I could free up. Not that I need the space, but I'm like, and then I thought, what about the Bluebird 7.5? So that's the only reason I didn't delete it. Children of Magenta Line, season 12. Coming to Hulu soon. Well, thank you, Sean. Yeah, doing well, my man. Doing well. I got a flight tomorrow. Won't be streaming, but I've only flown. I took a week of vacation this month as well because we had a new baby coming. So I've only done 3 trips all month. 3-day trips. 3 or 4. With Sim Update 3, 2020 is gone because 400 gigabytes. Douglas, I know. And it's interesting you say that because I thought of that too. I've been watching the videos of people saying, oh, look, Sim Update 3 beta, you could download this. You no longer have to stream all this stuff. I'm telling you, Douglas, if Sim Update 3 becomes stable in any short period of time, I will make the jump, and I think 2020 will be gone. Maybe. Unless Bluebird drops another teaser that reignites my fire to just hold on to 2020. Because I really want that 7.5, man. I think about it. American bare metal, Miami to Honduras, binding stream. No preview stream. Just straight up download, install, and go live. Group flight too. We all have to do the same thing. We all have to go live at the same time. I just got a 4 terabyte SSD for Sim Update 3. So is that what it's going to be? 400 gigs approximately? I've got SSD, but I kind of want to put it on my M2 drive. I'll probably just put everything on my M2, and then everything that's not 2024 will go on my SSD. America West 757 when? Oh my gosh, Bill's Mafia. Yes, dude, yes. Kip on the Ground says Sim Update 3 is pretty good right now, but there are some CTDs still, of course, as we had, well, we even had one earlier today, Kip. Runway, airport, plane lights are way, way better. Oh, so they fixed the runway lighting and stuff at night? That's good to hear, Kip. Awesome, man. Awesome stuff. I've gone fully vanilla for 2020 for iFly Max right now. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think a lot of people, well, I'll say a lot, but man, the iFly Max and the 737 stuff, there's zero good Boeing stuff on 2024, so that is a big downside. Cap Cannon House, what's going on, man? Bluebird's going to have to stand at the expo with the 757 ready to fly and try. Hopefully this means we're getting it soon. Yes. I'm hoping, Captain Cannon, do you know if they have the, what's that floor yoke? Was it the Wind Wing, that massive yoke? I want to fly it with that thing. That would be epic. So that, yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you, Captain Canada. Yeah, getting to see the 7.5 in action at the expo. Hopefully my 2020 is still installed by then, because I think that'll reignite the fires. All right, we're in the turn here. Isle de Carmen off the right. Cams confirm they're using the Thrustmaster, a Boeing yoke. Sweet. All right. Thrustmaster Boeing yoke it is. I just fly 2020 because I'm too poor to switch to 24 at that point. Zach says you went from Sim Update 2. Oh, you went back to 2 from 3? Wait, you had stutters in Sim Update 3? That's not good, man. Man, it is about as X-planey as it can get out here. Not a cloud in the sky at 12 noon. It's pretty ugly. Let's come back to the cockpit view. We've got about 40 miles to TOD. Probably should start thinking about doing that here. We'll let this song play out, then we'll go back to work. I might get Game Pass just to try out 24. You should try it, Bill's Mafia. I mean, you got a pretty beefy system, don't you? Yeah, Zach, I think Sim Update 2 has been really good performance-wise, minus that one hiccup we had today. And to be honest with you, could it have been the scenery? Who knows? But as soon as I saw that 320 stuttering the way it was, I should have known something was up. I should have just done a reload of the sim there, because that wasn't your normal, streaming. There's a stutter here, stutter there. Something was going on, and then it just said, "Nope, I'm done with you." I need a good L1049G or L1. Oh, a Starliner? Wow. I don't think you're going to be getting any one of those. I thought you were going to say L1011. I want an L1011 for mini builds. 3070 Ti and an i7. No, don't. Yeah. So to say, don't go to any payware airports. Canadian dropping 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Canadian. Very, very kind. He's got that big captain money now from the King Air. Thanks, Canadian. Appreciate you, bud. Oh, we were asking this yesterday. Do you guys have a cooldown period for your PT6s? Like no idle or no increase of N1 before shutdown, 2 minutes, 1 minute, etc.? Thank you, Canadian. Appreciate you. All right, how are we looking? I feel like we're getting too close now. 192. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, there you go. You got your Fokker emojis. Hopefully we get the Fokker 7100 here pretty soon, too. Get some old school regional ops going on. Then we'll really be Fokking around. Alright, I'm just trying to pull up some weather. Winds are still pretty much out of the north. Alright, when this song ends, we'll go back to work. Should we land real time or should we knock it down? I guess we land midday. Or we could do sunset. I don't know. Sunset just looks so much better in the desert. I got my CFI check ride in 2 days. Ben Calhoun. Nice, man. All right. Well, go crush it, man. I know it's going to it seems like a monumental task. But just be relaxed. And look, you've got you're being checked on being a teacher. So even if you make a mistake, the best line is, I'm going to use this as a teaching moment. So, you see, I did this wrong and I did this, or that's this. That's more for your practical test, though, for your flight test. But even on the ground, man, look, as long as you know where to look stuff up, like, you don't have to memorize everything. You will not be able to memorize everything. But that's awesome, man. You're going to be the sharpest you'll ever be after that check ride. I still stand by that. After you get your CFI, that's the sharpest you are as a pilot, or at least I would say like as an instructor pilot, as far as book stuff goes and regs and all that. And then it starts. We all make our grooves. You know, we get into our rhythms, and then things that we don't talk about all the time kind of fall by the wayside. So that's the challenge. Below 585 degrees ITT before shutdown. All right, thank you. We were trying to figure that out yesterday. I couldn't remember. We had like a 1 minute. I think it was a 1 minute or 2 minute before shutdown. So on the old like A models, we didn't have a beta detent. It was just a idle and reverse. So you had to be very careful when you came up over the idle gate that you didn't go too far in reverse and spike the N1 up. I've been trying to brute force my 2020 settings in 24 with 10 gigabytes of VRAM, and it turned me off the sim. Turned me off the sim entirely. Hoping either Sim Update 3 will fix it, or have to learn to appreciate medium settings. Man, what's interesting, Joe, is when I went back into 2020, my performance was worse than what I get in 2024. I don't know if that has to do with maybe I need to spend more time tweaking 2020 again, but I was very surprised how poor my performance was in 2020. All right, it's about ready to start down. Music is coming to an end. Let's turn up the sounds. Let's go back to work. I'm gonna need to get some sunglasses in here, man. It's freaking bright. All right, I need my iPad back. All right, Los Cabos arrival. We are on the Aneco 1 Bravo, and we're gonna land in the north. All right, that's cool. So the bottom altitude from Aneco is Avuru, 6,000 and 4,000 feet. So we'll set the bottom. We'll set 4,000 here on our mini FCU. 4,000 is set. Let's go ahead and get some destination data as well. I will say medium in 24 is the smoothest sim experience I've ever had for any sim ever. Really? Well, that's good. Especially if you're flying GA, man. Nice, smooth, low-level, scenic flying. All right, let's get the weather. It's crazy. So I'd only been to Cabo a handful of, maybe not even a handful of times. Yeah, I think I've been to Cabo a handful of times as a first officer. And then after I upgraded to captain on the Airbus and I finished all my training and I was done with OE, which meant that the next trip I did, I was going to be left seat by myself with an FO, obviously on the right seat, but no training captain. The first trip I ever got was Cabo San Lucas, and I hadn't been there in forever. And the winds were out of the north. They were ripping. There was like some thunderstorms in the area as well. The weather situation, as far as like the weather reporting, was all wrong, and the dispatcher said he had to file an ASAP because he did something wrong on his part. So then I was freaked out. She's like, what did I forget? That was my first ever flight as a captain. I'll never forget. Went into Cabo. All right. Let's go to received. Weather 16 in use IRL. Right now, yeah, 120 at 12. Ah, we should land the other direction. Okay. Let's land the other direction then. What approach are we going to do? RNAV Victor 16, Ineka 1 Alpha, insert. That's going to change things rapidly. Let's select heading. Execute. Boom. Remanage the descent. Alright, thrust throttle descent nav. So we're going to change arrivals. It's going to shorten things up. Things are going to happen a little bit quicker now. So Ineko Axta 4,000 feet for a set approaches. VOR would be more fun to watch. What do they got? Let's see. VOR Zulu 16. Well, 16 is going to be super mid. We could do this one. Do the arc. What is this? The Yankee? Let's make it. Let's do something a little bit more exciting. Let's take it off USBOG. Let's reset everything. So let's do VOR Yankee. Approach via. Let's do something where we can arc. Is there USBOG or Menvi? There's USBOG. Insert. USBOG? Yeah, let's do this. USBOG. Let's go out there. Insert. Remanage nav. We may have to adjust that though. I want to do the arc here, but that one's too far out. Let's see. Unless we go direct to USBOG now. I'll tell you what. Arrival, approach via. Let's do Menvi. And now what we will do is we will go direct to Menvi. Menvi. We'll do Menvi at 6,000. So reset 6,000. 6,000 set. We must do addition on the MDA. So 920 plus 50 is going to be 970. We'll do 970 in the barrow. What do we got? 120 at 12. Temperature down there is 32. It's warming up. QNH 29er, 9er 2. Alright, so we're set to land 16 via the arc at Mendy. Raw data, VOR arc. No, we're not doing a raw. You know how pain it is to do a raw data arc in an Airbus? You can track along in VOR mode if you want to. That's set. Alright, cool. 6,000. 340 on the speed. Perf data is set. We're doing LNAV. Actually, no, we're doing VOR approach, so it will be no FLS or any of that stuff. Let's make sure we don't have that installed. FLS is not installed. All right, cool. So it's just a VOR approach. We're going to be flying it in managed nav, but we'll have to have our first officer back us up here. So we're going to throw you into VOR. And then we're also going to tune the chart. Well, this is off of the Cabos VOR 1140. So we'll hard tune all that stuff. 1140 on VOR 2. We'll hard tune that. Actually, SJD. We'll do it the proper way. The one that's 53 miles away. So it's hard tuned. And we can hard tune it on mine as well, I guess. Hard tune on both. The final approach course will back it up, 166. So RadNav, this is how you would do it, raw data, if you had to do it. We would set course 166 right there, and then you would fly your needles. As we go through transition altitude, 29 or 88 is set once, twice, and thrice, which 29 or 88 is 10, 12. 10, 12 is set. We'll put the... Is there any other VOR? No, nothing to identify other than these fixes here. But that looks good. We'll put the same course on the FO side. Because what I'll do is I'll fly it like this. This is how you would set this up IRL, these per our SOP. So I'd fly it in green needles. Pilot monitoring would have the VOR needle backed up. So raw data back up the approach. That's how we would tackle a VOR approach in the Airbus if we didn't have FLS or SLS or anything like that to overlay. Why'd you add 60? It should be 50 feet on the minima. What did I add? So when you have an MDA, think of it as must-do addition. So we got to add 50 foot to 970 on the MDA. If it was just a DA, we wouldn't make the addition. Now that's an SOP thing, but I also know a lot of operators that do the same thing. So we're doing it right now. So 970 is set because it's a non-precision approach. All right, I hit my camera there a couple times. Sorry about that. All right, everything is set. We're going to slow down here. Once we hit 10,000 constraint modes, we'll throw those back on. Terrain on ND because it's free. 6 is set. We'll go to 4 after crossing. Get the seatbelt sign on. Prepare for landing. Just an SOP that makes you add 50? Correct, yeah. That is correct. For MDAs. DAs, we don't add anything. But I don't... Pretty much every airline I know in the U.S. does the same thing. Well, at least... I can think of 4 other airlines that I know do the same thing. I think one... Yeah, they all add 50, though, I think. Yeah. So, just kind of... It's not an FAR, but for the SOP. Because you don't want to go below it.
So the Lucas traffic, that was 1920, and on final window.
All right, 9. Oh, we're speeding now. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's push the level off. Vertical speed 0. We got no ATC online, so we got all of our lights on right now. We'll slow to 250 knots here. Speed brakes are coming out. Sounds are coming up.
How about traffic check?
Cabo traffic, Cactus 357, we're at 9,500 feet here, descending to 6,000. We're shooting the VOR Yankee 16 into Cabos. Cabo traffic. All right, let's go ahead and pull for open now. Thrust idle, open descent. Let's go ahead and just select speed 250 knots. 250 selected, open descent. We're going to activate and confirm the approach phase. VAP 147. There's our brick, and there's our stick. Menvy's actually at or above 9. Jeez. Speed out star 9,000. Wow, good thing we caught that. Like reverse dyslexic. I read that as a 6. 9,000 set. Question is, do we do sunset or midday? It's very hard to remember the difference between approaches, LNAV, VNAV, LP, LPV. Any easy way to remember the difference? No. Practice. You'll learn them all with practice. Don't worry, my man. You'll get them all. You'll get them all with practice. I think we should run it forward a little bit. Ain't nobody like flying at midday. At least like that. Midday is for Infian. Where's Infian at? He loves flying around to mid. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right, here we go. We're hitting the Menvy 9,000. Menvy inbound. We can descend and maintain 6. Thrust idle, open descent. Cloud turn spacecraft for arrival. Infian has been summoned. We were just talking about being mid, so there he is. Infian is the reason we can no longer fly to Kitech ever again, because apparently Kitech doesn't exist, so he won't let us fly to Kitech. For realism. I am going to attempt to launch the flight recorder on this one. So remind me. I was going to take the 380 to Kitech, Infian, just for you. But maybe we'll just fly to LAX or something. Alright, we're down to 6. Minimum at 4,800 in between. We can go down to 3 from DME 11 inbound. So we got to be at or above 3,600 once we hit the 11 DME fix. We'll also dial it back once we level here at 6,000. There's our level off, our blue stick. We're going to level there. Let's go ahead and get the cameras set for landing.
Combo traffic, Cactus 607 going around.
Uh-oh, Cactus is going around. Landing cams are set. Leveling 6, let's knock it right back to 210.
Too close to the previous traffic.
Got you. Fenix traffic, Southwest FSprojects cleared runway 16.
Vinny, flaps 1 on the ground, 30C, JetBlue at least, we used to use 35. Yeah, Vinny, we've changed multiple times. It was 40, 38, 35. I got to double check. I want, because we just had this memo. I want to say it's 37C now for us. But it's changed multiple times. Ooh, get right into that SP trap. Let's throw slats out. Flaps 1. Come back 200. Yeah, 30 is pretty low, Vinny. I'm surprised you guys do 30. Couple traffic. Cactus 357, 6,000 feet. Entering the arc for the VOR Yankee runway 16, just over 43 Mike. I'll get flight recorder ready, but I'm not going to start it until we turn final. It's struggling below that SP. Let's go flaps 2. Speed checks, flaps 2. We can actually fly this with the RNAV overlay. Approach is armed. App nav, here comes the brick. We'll set 3,600. I'm going to throw the first officer into raw data, so he's monitoring the actual VOR data. You can see we're on our 11 DME arc. I've got my DME set. We need to start slowing up. Let's bring it into 180. The Canadian gives another Canadian a membership. Hey. Is this that's right. That's suspicious. The Canadian gifts a membership to a Canadian. So if a Canadian gifts another Canadian a membership on an American stream, does the Canadian have to pay tariffs? Canadian collusion. Yes, tariffs for everyone. Listen, the way my kids eat pancakes, man. Can we just relax the tariffs on the maple syrup? Freaking insane. You're gonna need to fly to Salt Lake and get some like huckleberry syrup or something that they make out there.
Currently on the 42 miles, I'm going to turn right to Yankee, Yankee, your approach.
All right, recording is going to start now. So if we get any stutters in the next like 10 seconds, I can confirm it's for flight recorder. Flight recorder's up and running now. And Cabo traffic, Cactus 357, just turning final now for the VOR Yankee runway 16, about 11 mile final, Cabo traffic. Christ, Vermont. That's right. I wish we had a Cabo scenery. We don't have a Cabo scenery, so it's unfortunately going to be default down here, but it's still pretty sweet flying in here. Weather's great for flying. All right, so as we turn final, you'll notice first officer's monitoring our raw data. We're flaps 2, 180. Approach mode is activated, 147 VAP. We're looking good. Runway's in sight. When's the earliest you ever disconnected the autopilot? Before takeoff. Flown with a deferred autopilot before. Generally, I shut the autopilot off. It honestly it depends on what airport you're going into, man. If the task saturation is extremely high, then there's really no sense to just have the autopilot off. But if we're going into Cabo like this, shoot, man, I'll turn it off 10,000 feet. Because you got to remember, the pilot monitoring is going to, their tasking is going to go up as soon as that autopilot comes off. So if there's a lot of communication, very busy airspace, it's not really beneficial to have them doing extra work when it's not necessary. But we'll go ahead and kill it now. Autopilot's coming off. Manage speed. Gear down. We'll set the missed approach altitude. We'll just set 4,000. 4,000 blue. VFE next, -10, flaps 3. And VFE next, -10, flaps full, landing checklist. Gosh, that looks so nice. All right, landing checklist. Cabin crew advise auto thrust. It's in speed mode. Auto brakes off. ECAM memo. Landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. 14 knot direct crosswind. Now it's swirling for sure. It just went from 18 to 4 back to 16. So got some swirly winds down here today. Runway's in sight. Let's go ahead and flight directors off. Please give me the bird chat. Birds in chat.
1,000.
1,000 stable, clear to land. Kip, no, we call those people flap reachers, and if you do that, there will be memes made about you. Still trending a little bit high here.
100 above.
Sync brake check. Tip in there, 1,000.
500. $500. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10. 5.
Come on, where you at? Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. Ooh, yeah, we held that nose off nice. It's swirly down here, though, that's for sure. Real light on the brakes, 70 knots, not even touching the brakes. Keep the brakes nice and cool. Yeah, look at those windsocks, straight out, almost straight out to the right. At least we had the replay on that one. IRL with medium auto brake, does nose drop? Yes, it does. Drops real hard. All right. Clear here. Default scenery looking atrocious. Would you keep the wind corrections in after touchdown with a strong crosswind? Not necessarily, no. Maybe a little bit of aileron, but you got to remember you got a bunch of spoilers coming up on both wings. You got your ailerons are going up, so not really as beneficial as like in light GA, like it's like hold full left aileron or something like that. No, not in an Airbus. All right, we'll clean it up. Paid for whole runway? Use whole runway. Well, it's because I wanted my brakes to be nice and cool, man. All right, here we go. We're cleaned up. Let's go ahead and get these off. Taxi light, boom, strobe, prime the APU. Let me stop the recordings. We'll have that for later. Recording is stopped. Cabo traffic, Cactus 357 will clear of runway 16, taxi the ramp, Cabo. Someone else on final out there. Yeah, if I would have got on the brakes harder, we would have made that first one. I'm going to pick up my taxi. Let's go ahead and juice it up here. Let's get past this high speed so we can get off the runway. Oh, it's alright, he can cut us off. He can go in front of us. He's not going to get off there? Alright. A 285? The float punished you? Is that what it was saying? Well, look. We kind of ran out of juice. We just set her down. It's one of those classic floaters. Sometimes we clear the runway, sometimes we don't.